Welcome back to Stockholm.
Thank you.
You're here to receive your second horse. You got the bronze horse for girlhood back in 2014. So where did you keep it?
It's actually in my room.
Oh!
Yeah, it's the only prize that is in my room. I mean, I think there's a bizarre that is holding my door.
Yeah, but that's a sign. Cool.
Yeah, you can't. I moved 3 times with this. And each time it's like, this is like the latest box.
It's such a pleasure to have you here and to see this film. I've seen it before, of course, but to see it again, I was so moved. I was a little afraid of how I was going to conduct the interview. And when you remove the fact that you don't have to follow the story that much, you can see the preciseness, the exactness, and there's no wonder that you won Best Script in Cannes. This is a perfect script in my opinion. So I want to begin by thanking you for a marvelous, very touching film. You always write your own films. You also write for other directors. We'll get back to that. But what was the original idea for this film?
Well, there was the desire to dedicate the film to a love story. To write a film about love, how love is born. So first, to watch carefully, patiently, to have a slow burn, to watch the film Desire also. To depart from this convention that we love in cinema, the romantic comedy or drama convention, 2 people looking very good, being in an elevator and waiting for the green for them to be in love, in flights in different levels. So it was the opposite. It was about how love, how desire, and how love grows and flourishes. And to look very carefully at that, and also to have this other layer, also the memory of love, the print of a love story, what's left of a love story, the dynamic of love, philosophy, politics of love. So that was the first spark. Also wanted to depart from my first film that I kind of consider as a trilogy, because they were all coming-of-age stories, they were all also with non-professional actresses. And this time I wanted to work with, to tell the story of good women, with the professional actors, and also wanted to work with the dead again.
Which you did in Waterloo back in 2007.
Yeah, exactly, 12 years ago.
And now, 30 roles and 2 sides later, you get to work with her again.
Yeah.
That must be a big thing, kind of seeing that progress in an actor, being part of the first big role.
Yeah. Well, it was part of the whole project, and it's also the movie I had in mind writing the film, and trying to create this thing that we collaborate. I wrote a very secretive credit, is that what you said?
Mm-hmm. You didn't show it to anyone?
Yeah, but when I write, it's a very lonely process.
That's always the process, or?
Yes, nobody reads the scripts except my producer, but when it's actually, when I feel it's actually a compilation. So it's been a long process of thinking about it. First, really buffering for 2.5 years, trying to find this new form.
Yeah. So, why did you decide for this setting, placing it in the 18th century?
Well, I wanted to talk about women
All the other films have been in modern working today.
Exactly. I have no particular passion for the costume drama or piece that more important here. So it wasn't about that. It wasn't about that specific genre. It was really about the fact that I wanted to talk about a woman artist and show a woman at work. I really wanted to show it. So writing, when you show writer in cinema, it's always like, this is not cinematic at all. And it's it's like the elevator in a romantic comedy. Wanted to show somebody at work and wanted to talk about cinema, of course, and to tell about the relationship, the creative relationship between a model and an artist. So I wanted I went for painting, and went throughout art history from the perspective of women. That was a short book to read, because it's not been written. And came up, but learned about this particular moment in art history that I was totally ignorant about. That is the second half of the 18th century, where women artists there were many women artists in France and Europe, hundreds of them actually having like flourishing careers. Male gaze is a concept. I told you about the TEDx it's now. The male gaze is a concept invented by Laura Mulvey in 1975. That said that cinema, basically, a lot of cinema relies on the fact that the pleasure of objectifying women, and that pleasure is shared within from the director's perspective and the viewer's perspective. So women are object and not subject. We don't share their experience. And a lot of cinema has been big. I mean, cinema is invented around the male gaze. So female gaze would be well, not the opposite. I mean, because male gaze is the convention, and female gaze would be departing from convention. So maybe it's a gaze that is free. You know, when we talk about female gaze, it seems like this would be this feminine look on things, like how it's not about how we look at trees. It's how we look at people. It's how we look at stories. It's also how we share our experiences. And it's definitely hybrid, because you have to deconstruct the male gaze, because we were all raised, it's like when you're a lesbian, you have to deconstruct. If you've been raised by heterosexuals, so you have to deconstruct this, you know. Female gaze in the film, well, the film is basically, the plot of the film is the gaze, and some critics have said that, you know, we could talk about Portrait as female gaze the movie, which is not something very good in the marketing-wise, I think. But I didn't plan it that way. It's not a manifesto for female gaze, but it is a manifesto because I think every film should be a manifesto for itself. So the film is being really playful with this idea because the gaze is the plot. So it's actually an evolution of the gaze within the film. So at first, it's this woman who is the first line in the film is "Take the time to look at me," and then it's about the woman gazing at another one with one of them not actually knowing what this gaze is. Then the gaze becomes mutual. Then it's actually about her being the painter, feeling the fact that she's also looked at. It's about harvesting this tension of looking at each other. And sharing the experience of both the character. And we also have this painter-model situation where usually we call that an artist and muse situation. And we wanted to show it differently. That is, that the muse is usually this fetishized silent woman who's totally objectified, and she's just inspiring because she's beautiful and she's in the room. We're not working like that, and I think it's not even true in a historical way. Women, they have not been given the opportunity to be artists. Some of them have still managed, but the opportunity they were given to be in the workshop was as models, and they seized that opportunity. That they were when they were in the room, and they were definitely part of the process of creation. This is a story that is I mean, we tell that story, but we're not the only one. It's a whole process, a whole cultural moment of reappropriation of women's participation in the story of art, which is great. You know, even if you look at the cave persons, I don't know if you know the caves where they were in the prehistoric time. I want to say caveman because you know it's so cave person. You know, they used to sign their drawing with their hands, and if you look at the size of their hands, well, actually they're quite small, so they might be teenagers or women. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I want to go back a little. How did you first decide to become a film director? When did it happen? Why?
Well, I didn't actually decide it. I mean, basically, I knew that I wanted. I mean, I decided to be a cinephile. That is to say, go by myself to the cinema, choosing what film I wanted to see, because I had the luck, also the opportunity. There was a art house theater in the town we were in. And when I was 13, I decided I would spend my time there. So basically, went to the cinema 3-4 times a week. They had great programmation, so I was just going to see everything. And I didn't decide to be a director, but I decided to put cinema at the center of my life, which means first going to the cinema, then dreaming about what can I do, and you know, as a woman, as a teenager, I was like, I must be an actress if I want to be part of this world, and felt like I didn't really want to do that, and so I said I wanted maybe should be a critic, because you know, I could write about films, and then decided not to decide, and just to say that I studied literature, I loved school, so I just decided that if I studied things that I love, I would end up doing something not too far away from my passions. And at some point, I did all my studies in literature, didn't study cinema, decided to take a job, working in marketing. Film is the movie, and quit my job. You know, it gave me autonomy. And I started living in Paris, and then decided to quit my job and try to enter National Film School as a screenwriter. So I didn't decide to be a director yet. So then it was this 4 years of studying and writing my first original script there, which was Water Lilies. And then when I got out, I got a lot of attention with the script. You know, in France, we have this strong tradition where you write what you direct. There's no like a script without a director.
It's the author tradition.
It's the author tradition. So, which is a good tradition because it can help so people like me they don't feel legitimate to actually take the leap. And I met my producer.
That you've been working with since.
Yeah, we did 4 films together. And she said, "You're a director. The script, you're a director. You should go for it." And there we go.
Mm. And Water Lilies is about 3 young girls, and it's set in the water ballet world. And I think there's something really interesting about that sport, about the performativity of that sport. Why did you choose that as the
Well, precisely for what you think. We need to talk about this.
No.
Back then.
It's not awkward yet.
I was totally attracted by how cinematic that sport was, and how also it was. It told a lot about what was expected from women or teenagers, because it's the only sport that is only exclusively female, and so it tells a lot about femininity. It's the only sport where you should hide the fact that you're naked, the fact that it's painful, the fact that it's powerful, because it is this that's what's underneath the water in the films. You saw that in the film. They're just really struggling to stay at the surface, and then at the surface they do wear makeup and they perform. The fact that they are dolls and they smile, and that they shoot, there is no pain in what they do, so that was like quite a metaphor. Also it was actually a personal anecdote, because I went to see a synchronized swimming show when I was a teenager, and actually thought, I think I want to do this. I think this is like, I was super moved. But this is, and it wasn't Vivaldi. We're dancing to Vivaldi. They're dancing to Cotton Eye Joe.
Swedish song.
Oh,
yeah.
Because nobody knows, so you know. Yeah, you know about music here. So I'm cool because otherwise I would have had to sing it.
Please don't.
So there was nothing, there was nothing really like, there was nothing really, it can be really seen as something like ridiculous, and I thought it was really sublime, and didn't understand why, and I was mixing up my own desire. I think I just wanted to be as accomplished, as athletic, and also as part of a team. as this girl, and also, you know, just was actually falling in love with all of them. And I thought, well, this is a good, this is awkward. So this is a good plot for a film about the rise of desire.
I'm just thinking there must have been some. Okay, so you shouldn't make films with animals and children, and I guess you shouldn't make films with a lot of children in pools. So, what were the challenges in this film? I can only imagine.
Electricity. Well, it's a very cinematic set. I mean, it's. I don't think that it wasn't really the challenge wasn't really here actually. Yeah. Or I don't remember. I shot the film in my hometown and in the pool where I learned badly to swim. So felt really. No, I had no trouble with the pool.
Cool. Let's move on.
Yeah, to children.
And the next film you did, Tomboy, is about a young girl. I guess she's maybe 11 or something.
She's 10, yeah.
10, who moves to a new town and introduces herself as a boy to the children in the neighborhood. And that's also performative somehow. And what did you want to explore by making a movie about that?
Well, I wanted to make a film about childhood and how, without nostalgia, without a retrospective look on things, but really being at the height of children, which doesn't mean it's here. I mean, yeah, the camera is here, but I think, you know, childhood is also a performance. Childhood is also a moment where is a moment of great violence and desires, and really wanted to look at that. And also about gender fluidity at that time. You know, it's the moment where there's still equality, and then, you know, your body's gonna look at that frontier, and then you have to be female. Also, it was a lot of the desires around my films, the sparks, are also have to do with production. I also really wanted to make a second film that would be lighter, even regarding the production, cheaper, and to make it like a pirate. So it's a film that I wrote in 2 weeks and shot in 20 days.
Okay.
Like 2 months later, finding a little bit of money, actually financing it retrospectively. And with this idea that can you decide that you're going to make a film 3 months later? You know, cinema has so much money, there's so much weight. And I thought, well, if I get to do a film about childhood, I'm going to do it that way, because it's like a game. So it was really impulsive, and it's not at all the same process as the first film, or this one. And it was also working with very, very young children, because she's 10, but this little sister was 5, and really trying to make it really fast and not think too much about it. It's only 50 scenes. It's an hour and 20 minutes, and I really thought about the film as an arrow that would like go really fast into your heart.
Which definitely did. And the next one you did is Girlhood, that you won the Bronze Horse for, where we are following 4 young girls in the suburbs of Paris. And I really feel that there's such authenticity in the film. I've been there, I don't know, but you really feel like, okay, this person knows what she's talking about. How did the film come about? Did you do some kind of research? I was thinking about the Norwegian series Skam, that you already had a French version of, and there was such a massive research before they actually started writing. How did it look for you?
Well, no, it was mostly about, I really wanted to look at youth as in its mythological way, and actually to bring those characters that are rarely seen on screen as equals as the other characters. So, you know, not treat them differently. But this time I really wanted to talk about the group and how friendship is an emancipation. It was a film around sorority, and how also anger is legitimate, and violence is a response to violence. And so it was more weird film also in a way that was cut in 5 episodes. I thought a lot about TV series and thought, okay, this is 5 times 25 minutes, and really wanted to show this character in a very mythological way. That is, she goes through all the identities that society proposes to her. So each time it's like this 20 minutes of embodying one of the possibility. And it's also the first time that it's a film about a group. That's also why it was shot in CinemaScope. It's my own film in CinemaScope. I think I'm a more 185 person, but really wanted to put 4 people in a frame. I don't know, it's a messy answer, but no.
I think it's very clear. You also, as I mentioned, you also write, and you're an educated screenwriter for other people. So, what is different between the projects that you intend to direct yourself and the projects that you're writing for someone else in the process of the writing?
Well, it depends on the director. I've been writing also for films that haven't been made, so I won't talk about those ones. But the 2 films that have been made are My Life as a Zucchini, or is it courgette here? I don't know.
It's
Zucchini?
Yeah.
And there's also the Andrea Reuter film, Being 17. So it's 2 very different ways, because you can either work with Teixeira, for instance. I go to his place every day, and we work and decide everything together, and then I would go back and actually write the script, but it's really an everyday collaboration. Whereas on My Life as a Zucchini, the process was already, it's animation, so it took like 100 years to do it. It's stop motion. And there was already a version of the script, there was already a little teaser, the character design was there. So it was different. I wrote the script by myself, on the basis of what Claude Barras had been working for a lot of years. So it was a very strong material. There was also a book. And also there were these characters. I mean, they were drawings. But I felt I was writing for Zucchini. I was writing for this character, which felt really different. Whereas for writing for Andrea Reuter was this very legitimate character, and that I was totally a fan of his work when I was 14, 13, 15. It was about, it's always about why do they call you? They call you for something they know you can do. So we wanted to do a film about 2 teenagers, and to make it very physical, because I write in a very behaviorist way, you know. It's not about psychology of the characters. They don't exist. You know. That's what they do. So in a way, you have your signature, and that's why they're coming for you. But it's all about having an ambition for the director. You know, often I'm asked, like, is it difficult to let the script go? I'm like, no. It's like, oh, go. I'm not writing it for myself. I'm never frustrated. I don't want to do it, because I have this. Yeah, but I have this ambition for him. And for instance, with Andrea Reuter, I had the ambition of looking at him like he was a first-time director. So that's my secret. I'm not telling you. So it's different each time. But you know, it's a job that I don't know if I will still do, actually, because it's beautiful. It's a beautiful job for somebody. It's really. It's good for ego also, but it's because you're definitely not at the center of attention. You can, and also sometimes it makes you more free to experiment things. And I like a lot that position, but it's also taking a lot of time. Like for instance, it's 5 years between Girlhood and Portrait, and there's a lot of reason for that. But one of them is also that writing for others, you know, sometimes put a good delay, and sometimes it gets you away from your own craft, your own art.
I was going to open up for the audience if there's someone who has a question, but I have one last question, which is about in your films, in Water Lilies, there are no parents. In this film, there are no men. In Girlhood, there's no. Well, there's one scene when she goes into town, so the drugs, but otherwise it's this. There are these closed spaces that you're describing. What is it about the closed space that fascinates you?
It's not about the closed space, actually. It's about sharing the experience of the character. And each character, each time, I mean, if you want to share the experience of a teenage girl, if you put the parents, then you put the tension of some kind of oppression or older, and it's so it's about the conflict. It's about what can you do, what can you not. It's about, and I'm always trying to get rid of those old conflicts that you know. When we were talking about the female gaze, I think that's something that the female gaze can do. It's not only like how do you not objectify women, because this is very easy. You don't have to scratch your head for 3 hours. How am I not going to objectify a woman? It's easy, really. But you have to want it. You just have to choose it. You just say, I'm not going to do it, and that is happening. It's cinema is aware that we're going to put the camera up. That's the answer you have to give. And so, I got lost. Sorry. It's about also new narratives. So, for instance, in portraits, there is no man because we are looking at the frame is the oppression, and what we leave out of the frame is the oppression. And I don't want to talk about. I want to put the man in the frame, and so that it will be the enemy, the person that would be between them, because this is something that we've seen and seen. And also I don't want to objectify men, so I'm not putting them in that position. And in Water Lilies with teenage girls, it's the same. You want to share the experience of a teenager, you have to share their loneliness. You want to share what it's like to be a kid, you have to share their loneliness. Otherwise, you're just showing the same narrative of conflict. Portraits is female gaze because it is women-driven, but mostly equality-driven. It's a love story with equality. There is no gender domination, there is no intellectual domination, we're not playing with social hierarchy, for instance. So it's about, cinema is the only art where you can share somebody's loneliness. Because even literature is a voice. It's maybe even if it's a stream of consciousness. Sometimes it is. Maybe Virginia Woolf is sharing loneliness, for instance. But it's pretty rare. Cinema, it's quite easy to share somebody's loneliness. Just put somebody in the room, and if you share the loneliness, then you share, and especially with women character, you can start to share their experience.
So I want to see if there's someone who has a question. Maybe we can get some light in the audience.
Yes, in Girlhood there's a musical moment where the main characters dance in a hotel room to Rihanna's Diamonds, and in this movie there's a musical moment where all the women at the party, I guess, start singing. But where did that moment come from? What is the song? Was it written for the film, or is it an old song? Or?
It's a weird version of Cotton Eye Joe, actually. We're gonna sing it eventually. It's a song that is composed for the film. As you noticed, there's no music in the film, and which felt kind of scary at the beginning, because a love story without a score.
Yeah, without the boy.
But that's part of the pleasure. So the love story, you can always play the game, like Titanic, My Heart Will Go On. Love story. But it was really a matter of reconstitution, because the film is also about the importance of art in our life, the relationship to art, and it's 18th century, and so finding a book is important. Listening to music, you have to go to church, which explains a lot the success of religion. Religion, of course, we know that God owes a lot to back back to the composer. So it was putting you in the same position as equals, as them, so that when music occurs, it has to be really, really important. I also make the link between the girlhood Rihanna moments and this bonfire scene, because it's actually even, I see now the Rihanna scene as a kind of a sketch for Portrait of a Lady on Fire, because it's kind of the same position. The Rihanna moment is one of the rare shot counter shots that I did, because Portrait is a lot about shot counter shot, but reverse shot. But it was very few, there were very few in my previous films. And Girlhood, she's actually looking at her friends, and at some point she enters her own gaze to join the group. And I tried to think of those musical moments as in musicals, actually. That was the first film that as a young cinephile, that was fond of. It was really, my grandmother showed me all the musical French things, mostly. So that's my culture. And in a musical, when they start to sing, usually it's because something really, really important is happening. It's going to be the first kiss. So I'm always trying to think of the musical moments in my film as climatic, dramatic moment for the character, one kind of becoming something. So sorry, I'm talking. But it's, okay, no, it's interesting. And so. In Portrait, as I knew that there would only be Vivaldi because I wanted a hit for classical music, because I wanted it to be really, really democratic. Some people told me, why didn't you pick Schluckebleu, the because I don't know it. It should be, you know, it should be really, really democratic moment. But also the pleasure of cinema is when you can get to invent music. I think that's the thing that moves me the most as a director. It's not the thing that I craft myself. It's the thing that somebody does for you. And so the actors, they're giving you a lot of that. But music, it's like suddenly there's another author designing something.
Who did this piece of music?
It's Parawan, and we did the music for all my films. And with a more classical guy this time, named Arthur Simonini. And you can hear it on Spotify.
So, yeah, did the mic get passed back? Yeah.
Hello, and thank you for...
Who are you?
I'm here.
There's a hand there.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it's
Thank you for a beautiful film, and I have a question about the ending, because when did you know that you wanted to end this film this way? Because there's a discussion, I think, especially within LGBT films, that they often have an unhappy ending, someone should probably die, things like that, and in this film well, no one dies, but they don't end up together, but I still leave this film feeling happy, and I think it was an amazing achievement, but I just want to know, when did you know that you wanted to end the film in this way?
From the start. That's the first scene that I had in mind for this film. I built the film to do that scene. You know, and it was a difficult writing process on this film, really long, with a lot of questions. And at some point I give up, and it's that scene. I was like, I have to do that scene. This is like, there was the compass. I knew that was what I wanted to say, and that I had to do this shot, this scene. So, yeah, it's the first time actually that at the ending, and I did all, I mean, it's not a lie, it's not a lie to you, but I had this very strong vision. And actually, yes, I think it's a positive ending. Lesbian has been really, really the poor lesbians in cinema. That die, or they got suicide, or they get killed. One of them, anyway, wasn't much into this, so she gets married, so she's safe. So we've been suffering a lot, and but to me this is a happy end, because you know, lesbian narrative, it's not about this, the happy end in cinema. In a love story, I'm never really happy when the two people that get married, there's this frozen image. It's just something that you live in the room, doesn't tell you about love, doesn't tell you much about love. the fact that that their love has a future, because their love has a dynamic, their love made them more brave, made them more alive, more open, to me, is the politics of love we want to talk about, and that's also a lesbian narrative, a lesbian imaginary. So that's why to me it's also a happy ending. But it's also an ending that talks about cinema. You know, it's not only the climax of the relationship between the characters, or the meaning of the relationship between the characters, because it's a long take, as you notice, and it's 2 extreme minutes long. And in the process, at first, it's about this dynamic of a short reverse shot when somebody watches somebody that doesn't know. But within the first, after 30 seconds, you don't think about Maya looking at Eloise. You are actually looking at Adele, an actress, performing. You're in a theater seat, she's in a theater seat. The shot, reverse shot, is about you and her, and it's about cinema unveiling itself and leaving space for you, for your own stories, for your own love or lost love or future love. There's a...
They'd be like, the guys are nervous.
This is like the Oscars that we go to.
Exactly.
No, but there's a poet named Mary Oliver. She's an American poetess. She passed away in January. And she has this poem that sums the film, sums this idea, this scene. She says, "A broken heart is an open heart to the rest of the world." And that's it. Can you?
Thank you so much for this talk. I've been looking forward to it, but you managed to deliver even more than I dreamed of. Thank you so much. And now we go over to the next part, which is presenting you with the award. And I think we can remain seated while I ask the festival director, Git Changers, to come up on stage. Welcome.
I was lucky and have the privilege to witness the world premiere of Céline Sciamma's film in Cannes, and it was an extraordinary experience. Half in the film, I've already decided that we have this year Visionary Award in front of me, and the roof almost fell off in the Céline Theater, and the audience consisted of almost 60 to 70% of female, and I just hope that this prize, Céline, I'm sure that you have a very long and strong career in front of you, and we are so proud that you are with us here tonight. And now I would like to read the motivation. Céline Sciamma has, with her film, stretching the understanding of being human today. Through her ability of creating engaging character portraits of her generation and to tell stories that rarely is told, she has taken worldwide audience by storm. With elegant aesthetics and sensuality, she has expanded our cinematic horizons. She is a visionary voice that patches up holes in film history. With her innovates gaze, she challenges the understanding of seeing and being seen. It is with great honor that we present the Stockholm Visionary Award 2019 to Céline Sciamma.
So this is my second post, which means 2 things. First, I know that I won't be lifting this thing in the air at the end of the speech, as I tried last time. Second of all, it means that you have given me 14.6 kilos of recognition. And I think that makes you unbeatable. I think that maybe even if like, no, this is like you giving me the most in kilos, the most love and recognition. Oh, I get it. From the cinema world. I'm glad. I forgot my speech, you know. Which is okay because the clip didn't work. I think that awards are not about honors. They are about gratitude. The one you hand and the one you feel in return, and have a lot of gratitude. Have gratitude for the Stockholm Film Festival, obviously, but also have gratitude for the critics here and the audience, because it's a place where I always felt a culture, where I always felt deeply understood. I have gratitude for Kitzbühel, my amazing distributor. I'm proud to be in this alliance. There's also another alliance that I want to address, and there's somebody I want to share this award with, because this is also the result of the most passionate, loving, critical, painful, fun, endless conversation in my life. So at LNL, this is ours. And actually it's yours because I think my shelves can't take two of this. So the fact that you acknowledge my work doesn't only speak about my work, I think it speaks about this desire, this will to have other storytelling, other voices, other politics. So I think it's for me, not for myself, but also for all this new narrative that we need and want. There's few of us who have, and you could put a lot of things into that us, and have the privilege and the opportunity to express themselves. And so it's symbolic also of that. I want you to remember that page 28 was a blank page at the end of an old book, and that's where the artist decided to draw herself naked and fearless. Thank you.